Welcome back to another episode of Native New York. Thanks for joining us. If I had $1 for every time someone asked me, how's the market, I'd probably have enough to buy myself a really nice apartment. When it comes to answering this common question, the reality is you need to understand what segment of the market. Buying, selling, renting. But today, I want to help you better understand the three markets that exist within the greater market. In doing so, you'll have a clear picture of how value is derived beyond the intangible qualities I illustrated last week. Here are the three markets you need to consider. Number one, the micro market. This is the one that is probably most overlooked and underconsidered, and yet is particularly important in New York City. Because this is a city of vertical living, we have a lot of competition within our buildings. A micro market is what's happening hyper-locally. This means looking at what sales are like in your apartment line and in your building. It doesn't matter if the rest of the city is on fire. If there are tons of apartments for sale in your building for no particular reason, you are unlikely to get top dollar. Your market can be made simply by the supply in your building, so the market starts very locally. Number two is the neighborhood market. When brokers and customers talk comps, this is usually where the conversation is heading. Customers often want to know how a specific neighborhood is performing and how the apartment they are interested in buying or selling may perform in comparison. A neighborhood can have a surge or a decline based on a lot of factors. For example, a surge could come from improved infrastructure and housing stock, such as what we've seen on the Lower East Side recently. And in reverse, a decline could come from an oversupply of properties, such as what we are witnessing in parts of Uptown Manhattan. And lastly, the global market. Perhaps the market that is in the minds of most customers when they ask the age-old question, the global market speaks to what's generally happening with prices. I always like to remind people, however, that it's not just about prices, but also about velocity. In other words, not just what home prices are selling for, but if they are selling. One thing we've been fortunate enough to see throughout this pandemic is quality turnover. Lots of people have continued to buy and sell homes. So while everyone always wants to know how the market is related to price, don't forget that homes need to sell in order for the market to even exist. And that's it. Hope you liked this episode. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.